Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. This morning, we have two dockets. We have our motion to revoke probation docket, and we have an announcement docket. When I call your name, please come forward before the bench with your attorney. If your attorney is not here, your attorney is probably in another court handling another matter. If you do not have an attorney, when I call your name, just come to the bench by yourself. First case is two cases, cause numbers 24-CCCR 2610 and cause number 24-CCCR 2839. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Timothy Lewis Horace Jr. Timothy Horace, please come forward with your attorney, Mr. Lawrence. Do you need me to hold on this case? Mr. Horace, your full name is Timothy Lewis Horace Jr.?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Horace? That's good, Mr. Horace. You're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Jack Lawrence. Attorney Lawrence, how are you doing?
Just fine, Your Honor.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Shane Hilton. Attorney Hilton, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Now, Mr. Lawrence, what is your announcement in Mr. Horace's cases?
Oh, just let me get my file, Your Honor. I've been talking to the DA, Your Honor, and we're gonna reset the case, I believe. That's what he wants to do.
Your Honor, there's a pending felony from the same offense date
Oh.
that has been set for announcement in March 24th.
Okay. March 24th. So we're gonna reset these cases to the same date, March 24th, 2025. Mr. Horace, you're going to get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. Now, Mr. Horace, on that day, make sure that you come to this court first to check in and then go to the felony court. And then once you finish in the felony court, come back here and let us know what happened.
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Lawrence, I think these are your only two cases. You're free. These are your only two cases. On the docket, I only see you on these two cases today, so you're free to go.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
And it's reset to March 24th.
Yes, she's gonna give you a reset.
Good. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Next case is cause number 24-CCCR 0606, case style of state of Texas versus Alan Joseph Adams. Mr. Adams, your full name is Alan Joseph Adams?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Adams?
Fine.
That's good. Mr. Adams, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Alan Parker. Attorney Parker, how are you doing?
Good, Judge.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Parker, what is your announcement in Mr. Adams case.
We're asking for one more reset, Judge. I've got an offer I need to go over with him, and I've made a counter proposal that the prosecutor's gonna think about.
Okay. How much time do y'all need?
Just like a regular reset.
Okay. Give us a reset date. Okay, Mr. Adams, this case is gonna be reset March 31st. You're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day, and you're free to go as well, Mr. Parker. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Jody Buckley. Okay, I'm doing fine. And now, Mr. Buckley, your full name is Jody Christopher Buckley Jr.? And how are you doing, Mr. Buckley?
Great, I guess.
Okay, that's good. Now, Mr. Buckley, you represent, well, you're not represented in this case by an attorney. The state is represented by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Buckley, I see here that your case was reset the last time. We give you an opportunity to hire an attorney, is that correct?
No, sir. The last time that reset, I actually had an accident that morning, and I had to get my thumb stitched up, but I was trying to get a court-appointed attorney.
Okay. So, what we're going to do, the bailiff is going to give you some paperwork. Do you have some paperwork? Since she's busy. Do you need a judge? Give him that, the tablet. All right, and we're gonna go over the paperwork. I'll go over the paperwork with you, okay?
Yes, sir.
She won't. Okay, now, Mr. Buckley, the first document on that clipboard is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you see that document? Now, on that document, it states that as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Number two, if you cannot afford to hire an attorney, and you like to have an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. You understand that option? And number three, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, that first paragraph states that if you want an attorney, you have enough money to hire an attorney, your case will be reset to give you time to hire an attorney.
Yes, sir.
The second paragraph states that if you want an attorney, but you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you, but you must first fill out a financial questionnaire. Now, the financial questionnaire that they're talking about is another document on that clipboard that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. It's a 3-page document. Do you see that document? The title should be Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Is that on there?
Wait, I'm sorry, what are we? Everything's there.
Oh, here it is, sir.
Okay, now on that document, you would have to fill out the first page. And then if you turn to the second page, at the top, it states defendant's oath. You have to fill out that top portion. And then near the bottom, it states unsworn declaration of defendant. You'd have to fill out that portion and then you'll stop.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So if you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney, those are the only two documents that you would have to sign. And, okay, so just have a seat in that chair right there on the, where the table is. Fill out that document. When we finish filling out that document, we'll call you back up. Sir. Casey Harden. She's filling something out. Okay, okay, we'll call you when you finish. Okay, the person that's on Zoom that has Moto, you take your mic off of mute. Your mic is still on mute. You need to take your mic off of mute.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Please state your full name.
Andre Pierre Holloman.
Oh. Okay, Mr. Holloman, you're represented by James Padgett, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Padgett has not arrived. Please put your mic back on mute, and then you're in court, you need to take the hat off your head.
Yes, sir.
All right, and when your attorney arrives, we'll call your case. All right, you can
Yes.
you can put your mic back on mute.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Somebody just. That was Holland on page 6. Yes, this Japanese. Okay. The court is in session in 2 cases. Clause number 24 CCCR 0366 and clause number 24 CCCR 2874. Both cases are styled in the state of Texas versus Thomas Joel Chapman. Mr. Chapman, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Chapman?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Chapman, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How about you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Cole, what is your announcement in Mr. Chapman's cases?
My client's had an opportunity to look at some of the discovery. I'd like to go over the video with in the next 30 days. Offers related to him this morning. These things to talk about, Judge. I don't know how many resets he's had on this case. I mean, it's
But he was just a,
is relatively new.
yeah. Give me the bond conditions on that. I'm trying to probably didn't have no bond conditions.
No, this is the
Yeah.
second is relatively new.
yeah, Judge. We sort of know where we're going with this.
Mr. Chapman. The case is going to be reset. But before your cases are reset, I need to give you some bond conditions. You have a DWI second and a criminal trespass. I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. And it states as follows. Standard bond conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Following return of criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 3 doesn't apply, however, condition number 4 does apply. And condition number 4 states that a defendant whose information charges any subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code, that's where your offense DWI second is located, that you shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator. And said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before 3 days after today. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 5 states the defendant shall obtain, maintain, pay for, and have no violations with the initial interlock device, mobile breath device. Any violation will be grounds for revocation. Do you understand that condition? And number 6, the defendant must attend AA/NA meetings 3 times a week and provide proof to the court. And do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, I have a verification form that you'll bring to the AA/NA meetings every time that you go, and then you'll bring this form back to court with the signatures to verify that you have been attending AA/NA meetings. And I have a list of, or a schedule of meetings that you can go to throughout Jefferson County. So you
Actually,
could,
there you go, some right there by my house.
okay, well, just make sure you get that form signed
Yes.
and bring it back to court every time that you come to court. Now, his case is gonna be reset. Okay, your cases will be reset to March.
That's
31st.
not gonna work.
That's not a good day?
That's not gonna work.
Okay. What day?
I'm putting it up right.
You're gonna go with April 2nd?
Yes, sir.
You'll get a copy of these bond conditions before you leave court from the court coordinator. Here you go. Thank you. You're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator and we'll just have a seat in that first chair on the wall, and then when she's ready for you, she'll call your name. Let's see. This is reset. Mr. Cole, is this your last?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go,
Yes.
and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Albert Slaughter Jr. Albert Slaughter Jr.
He's outside, Judge. I was waiting to talk to Andrew.
Okay, I'll hold on it. Mr. Renick, you ready on your case? Or you need, yes, Elizabeth Ray Hunter Clifford.
She has gone to probation to clear up her arrearages,
Okay,
and then she should be back, and then I think with the prosecutor we spoke, and they want her to be drug tested.
okay,
And then if she's clean, I think the plan is that the therapy is gonna be this.
okay, I'll hold on it.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Casey Harden. Good morning. Trying to get that. Okay, Ms. Chapman. Court is in session. The cause number M328-422, case of style of state of Texas versus Casey Harden. And Ms. Harden, is that your full name? How are you doing?
Doing fine, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Ms. Harden, the state is represented in this case again by Ms. Haley Simmons. And Ms. Simmons, again, how are you doing?
Great, Judge, thank you.
And the probation office is represented in this case by Mr. Gary Gilliam. Mr. Gilliam, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you, sir.
Now, Ms. Harden, I have before me a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. This motion was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this motion, it alleges that you, Casey Harden, was tried in County Court Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, on August 19th of 2024 for the offense of false statement to a police officer, and which is a Class B misdemeanor. And the court found the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the above offense, but deferred adjudication of guilt in accordance with the provisions of 42.12 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, and you were placed on unadjudicated probation for a period of 1 year. In this motion, there are 6 allegations. First allegation alleges that you, Casey Harden, committed the offense of unlawful carrying a weapon on or about December 17 of 2024 in Harris County, Texas, in violation of condition 1 of your probation order. Allegation number 2 alleges that you, Casey Harden, failed to work faithfully at suitable employment as far as possible as ordered by the court in violation of condition 6 of your probation order. Allegation number 3 alleges that you, Casey Harden, failed to pay court-assessed fees as ordered by the court. And as of December 19th, 2024, you were, is that $25 in arrears? In violation of condition 9 of your probation order. Allegation number 4 alleges that you, Casey Harden, failed to immediately report to the probation officer your arrest as ordered by the court in violation of condition 13 of your probation order. Allegation number 5 alleges that you, Casey Harden, failed to perform community service hours as required by the court in violation of condition 17 of your probation order. Allegation number 6 alleges that you, Casey Harden, failed to report to the Jefferson County Community Supervision and Correction Department by mailing in a report or online for the months of September and December of 2024 as directed by the court in violation of condition 4 of the special amendment filed on August 28th of 2024. I'm looking at a file. I don't see the information in the file. Yeah, I was looking for information. Probably, I'm looking for the original charge. Hold on a minute, here we go. Now, Ms. Harden, if the court find any one of these allegations to be true, you could be assessed jail time up to 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, I also have before, now you understand that you have a right to have an attorney. And I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
I just signed it, yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir, it is.
Or are these your initials on the line that states you'd like to apply for a court-appointed attorney? I also have another document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Harden, before you sign and initial these documents, let me do this here. Did I swear you in? Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No, sir.
Okay, now, Ms. Horton, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yeah, and
Did you understand what you read?
yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Ms. Horton? I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. An attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds will be given information to contact you. And you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd of 2025. And again, our court coordinator will give you the information on how to contact your attorney, Mr. Reynolds. Please have a seat in that chair, first chair on the wall. This is our paperwork right here. Okay. Yeah, hold on a minute. Who's that case upon? Okay. Mallory Marie Rockefeller. This is cause number 25 CCCR 0008, case style of state of Texas versus Mallory Marie Rockefeller. Ms. Rockefeller, is that your full name? Ms. Rockefeller, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Rockefeller, you're represented in your case by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Rockefeller's case? In Ms. Rockefeller's case?
Judge, we're still reviewing discovery. We'd ask for another announcement date.
Okay. Give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd of 2025 for announcement. Rockford, you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Galmore, I think this is your only case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. Jody Buckley. Mr. Buckley, would you please raise your right hand? Buckley, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Buckley, you may put your hand down again. Mr. Buckley, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Buckley, I have before me let's see, two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? And are these your initials on the line that states you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defender Signature. Is this your signature? Mr. Buckley, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read? Is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Buckley, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez will be given information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat on the first chair on the wall.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, hold on. What is this for, David? April 2nd. Your court date, we reset to April 2nd. Matthew Artis is on Zoom. Mr. Artis, you can take your mic off of Zoom. I mean, off mute. Mr. Artis, your full name is Matthew Artis.
Yes, sir, it is.
How are you doing, Mr. Artis?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Mr. Artis. You're represented in your case by your attorney Mark Faggett, who's currently present in court. Mr. Faggett, how are you doing?
I'm good. I have an emergency at the office. I would like to get, I'm gonna ask for a reset, Mr. Artist, so I can get you into the office and talk about the discovery in your case. And I have really an emergency at my office. So I'd ask the court to reset the case for 30 days.
Oh.
It's a new case. I got appointed on like in January.
Okay, you say April 2nd?
I will be out of the country on April 2nd,
Okay, get another date.
another date. I thank you for letting me approach. But still won't be back in. The following's good. Thank you.
April 16th?
Yes. Would you be kind enough to fax me the reset? Thank you. I'm sorry, I got.
Now, Mr. Artis,
Yes, sir.
this case will be reset to what?
April
April
16th.
16th of 2025. Now, Mr. Artis, you have the bond conditions in your case.
Yes, sir.
You required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You also required to attend NA meetings 3 times a week and provide proof to the court. You need to provide proof to the court. You're not here in person, but your attorney is here. You need to fax that either in to your attorney so he can get it to us, or you can fax it to the court, or you can email it to the court. Okay, that's the verification form that you were given in court back on January the 7th.
Yes, sir. Also, Judge, I'm not driving, so I have the OSM, the breathalyzer.
If you're not driving, you'll have to have a breath.
That's right.
You have to have a breath machine, a handheld.
I have it.
Okay,
Okay.
but I need the form. I need to have proof of that, plus proof that you've been to verify that you've been attending AANA meetings 3 times a week,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
So if you need to get it directly up to us, you can. We can give you, either the email or the fax numbers. Or you can, get it to your attorney, he can get it to us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. I may be excused.
Yes, so we need to get that by 5 o'clock today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you need our email or do you need the, fax number?
Yes, please.
Huh? You got his number? Okay, the court coordinator says you called this morning. She has your number. She's gonna call you and give you that information today.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Good morning. Okay, this is cause number 25 CCCR 0028, case of Southern State of Texas versus Billy Travis Nutt. Mr. Nutt, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Nutt? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Nutt, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Willard Hall. Attorney Hall, how are you doing?
Doing great, Your Honor.
And
What we've done so far in this case, I have received all discovery and I've been over it this morning with Mr. Nutt. And I was gonna ask for a reset for 2 months and I was gonna make a point with the prosecutor. Are you gonna prosecute on this case?
That's correct.
To discuss trying to resolve it.
okay. Now, Mr. Nutt, your case is a DWI at second. And we have some standard bond conditions that I need to give to you.
He's in compliance, Your Honor. Let me.
And now, you'll be able to get a copy of these bond conditions before you leave court today. And this document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. I'm going to go over this document, which it says following a return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. All bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named here are orders subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Okay. Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3 does not apply. Condition number 4 does apply because you have a DWI second, which is an offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code. And condition number 4 states the defendant whose information charges any subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator. And said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with a written verification of such installation being submitted to the court. on or before 3 days after today. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 5, the offender shall obtain, maintain, pay for, and have no violations with the initial interlock device, mobile breath device. Any violation will be grounds for revocation. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 6, the defendant must attend AANA meetings 3 times a week and provide proof to the court. And I have document, it's a verification form to hand to your attorney. He's gonna hand it to you.
Your Honor, we have, he has the interlock.
Okay,
He's
you need to
had it
get a
since
copy of this
August.
here. We're gonna make a copy of that. And that verification form, you need to bring that every time you go to NA meetings. And they'll sign it, and every time you come back to court, you need to bring it so we can verify that you've been attending. Also, these there's a schedule of NA meetings in our area. You can pick one to go to. Do you understand? Now, if you violate any one of those conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in the Jefferson County Jail. So you already made a copy? Okay, here you go. All right, so we need to get a copy of these bond conditions. You'll be able to get a copy of these bond conditions before you leave. Your case has been reset to, when is it? Is April 2nd a good day for you, Mr. Hall?
I was asking for 2 months.
Okay, give him a 60-day reset. May 7th is a good day?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this case will be reset to May 7th of 2025. Once you get your reset and your bond conditions, Mr. Nutt, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that first chair on the wall. And Mr. Hall, once you get your reset, you're free to go as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, may we approach?
Okay, hold on a minute. Here you go. Okay, this is,
MTRP docket, Judge.
okay. Elizabeth Ray Hunter Clifford,
Judge, she's had probation. being
She's still there?
tested,
okay,
But they thought it would be simpler and have her drug tested there.
okay,
She has a little bit of arrearages left. She needs about 2 weeks to clear that up. And part of the condition for today is for her to be drug tested. We would like to see if you just get it reset for 2 weeks so that she could clear up the arrearages.
you have any
The
objections?
state has no objection. She made an appearance here as well as probation, Your Honor.
Okay, give us a reset date.
Or whatever normal reset is, Judge, because if she's clean on her drug test and clears up her arrearages, the MTRP will be dismissed. We don't have to.
Okay,
That's correct, Your Honor.
okay. Yeah, you said 2 weeks?
2 weeks is fine, Judge. Just
Okay.
whatever you.
Okay, this case will be reset to March 12th of 2025. Mr. Rennick, you can get your reset from the coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Okay. LeBron. Teddy Knighton. Well, this is call number 24 CCCR 0628. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Teddy Knighton. Mr. Knighton, is that your full name?
June.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Knighton? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Knighton, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good day.
It's good. Now, Mr. LeBlanc, what is your announcement in Mr. Knighton's case?
Judge, in speaking with him, there may be proof of a prescription. I'd like one reset to see if possibly he can obtain that, so I get it to the VA.
Okay. Give us a standard reset. Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd, 2025. Mr. Knight, you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. LeBlanc, this is your only case. You're free to go as well. And you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Christian Edward Melanson. You got a second on this one too.
We're now some trial on this one.
Okay. Mr. Melanson, your full name is Christian Edward Melanson?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Melanson?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Mr. Melanson, you represented by your attorney, Mr. Kimler? And Mr. Kimler, how are you doing?
Oh, well, yeah.
That's good. And you announcing
Trial.
trial on this one? Okay. Now, Mr. See, this case was transferred from county court at law number 3. Now I need to, this is a DWI second. So Mr. Melanson, I need to give you some bond conditions.
I don't think it was.
No.
Oh, what?
I don't think it was an alcohol. DWI, is that right?
It was not DW.
Not alcohol.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it wasn't, okay. Ooh, let's see.
You could pull up.
Yeah, that's another.
Yeah, it was drunk, it was marijuana.
Yeah.
So it's a standard still. Well, yeah, it's still standard.
You know, right.
Or shouldn't have a problem then. Okay, now, Mr. Melanson, I have a document that's titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. And it states following return of criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein or ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order arrest of the defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol in the test in the case, the presence of drugs, alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 3 does not apply. Condition number 4 does apply because your offense is a subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of the Texas Penal Code. And condition number 4 states the defendant whose information charges any subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 49.06 of Texas Penal Code shall not operate a motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle. If ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator, said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before 3 days after the day. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 5, the defendant shall obtain, maintain, pay for, and have no violations within the ignition interlock device or overall breath device. Any violation will be grounds for revocation. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 6, the defendant must attend AANA meetings 3 times a week and provide proof to the court. Do you understand that condition? Now, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. I have a verification form to give to you to verify that you are attending AANA meetings. You need to bring this form to the meetings.
It's not for the record, we object to him being held on Tuesday here.
Okay, we'll note your objection. You need to bring that form to the meetings that you go to, and when you come back to court, bring it back so that you can get it, so we can verify your attendance. They will sign the form, and these are locations that I've handed to your attorney. He can hand them to you. Those are different locations of NAA meetings in Jefferson County. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you're gonna get your case reset. Your case is gonna be reset. Well, what's that date again? March 31st. Your case is reset to March 31st of 2025. And once you get your reset and your bond conditions, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that first chair on the wall. And Mr. Kimler, this is your case. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day. Mr. Malonson, you need to get your bond conditions and then reset. Yes,
Then I hardened. On the announcement.
Zana Harden. Ms. Harden. Your full name is Zana Harden? Yes, sir. How are you doing, Ms. Harden? Great. That's good. Ms. Harden, you're represented in the case by your attorney, Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
That's good. Ms. Rojas, what is your announcement in Ms. Harden's case?
Judge, we've been coming back a long time on this because I think we need one more announcement and we'll be able to take care of it. We're gonna get an affidavit from Ms. Harden's mom and get that to the prosecutor's office. I think they'll dispose of the case.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, give us a reset date. Okay, this case is reset to April 2nd, 2025. Ms. Harden, you're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that chair on the wall up here. And Mr. Rojas, you're
That's
free to
all I
go.
have.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Dutchess County Court of Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session to cause number 24 CCCR 1370, cases Tyler, State of Texas versus Jordan Trey Landry. Mr. Landry, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Landry?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Landry, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove, how are you doing?
Very good, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Grove, what is your announcement in Mr. Landry's case?
I'd like to ask for one more reset, Judge, so we can get a little bit more information. And I believe we will plead the case
Okay,
once we get this information.
okay. What's the reset date? April 2nd? Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd of 2025 for plea. Mr. Landry, you'll get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that first chair on the wall.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Patrick, you have 2 cases.
Got another case with Caleb.
Yeah, I know, it's not ready yet.
Yes. Well, no, I understand. Working as fast as you can.
May I approach you on?
Yes, Mr. Paget,
Yes, Your Honor.
you have, Andre Holloman.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's currently on Zoom. Mr. Holloman, you can take your mic off of mute.
You'll
There you go.
struggle with it a bit this
Okay.
morning, Your Honor, so you
Yeah.
might give him a second. I'm
Okay,
just proud
now,
that he's.
Mr. Holloman,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing?
Pretty good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Holloman, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Holloman's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Holloman is on Zoom this morning because I just recently received all the discovery. So if you would allow me a time to meet with him and ask that both of us be here in person next time, I will have an offer and I will be prepared to announce. If not, dispose of the case.
Okay, give us a reset date, to April 2nd.
The discovery is completed.
Okay, this case will be reset to April 2nd, 2025. Mr. Holloman.
Yes, sir.
Set at 9 a.m. in the morning. You need to be here in person on that date. Your,
Yes, sir.
Your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset date. You're free to go. Stay in
you,
contact
sir.
with your attorney and your bondsman, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And thanks for being patient with us.
And did you tell him that
Next.
you need to be here in person?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Wait a minute, this is not hung up. They hang it up.
Dwayne Francis.
Bring your ass here. Andre. I'm talking back for Andre. He's mad. I told you.
Your Honor, I knew he was struggling a bit with it. Again, it's a small miracle we got him on Zoom. So I'm just thankful that we got him on Zoom. Getting him off might be another struggle.
I know what about it.
He's old school.
Okay. Okay. This is cause number 23 CCCR 0684, case of South State of Texas versus Dwayne Francis. Mr. Francis, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Francis? That's good. Mr. Francis, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Francis' case?
Your Honor, we have a couple of other situations going on that I'm certain probation officer is aware of.
Yes.
I'm dealing with a situation in Hardin County, which I think that's an allegation. And my client just told me that there may be another situation down the hall.
Sure it is.
Is that accurate? Because I was not made aware of it.
It's in CDC.
Was that the MTRP?
Yes, sir.
So
So
Mr.
it's-
Francis tells me that he's going to hire me on a new case, but I was just made aware of it in the hallway prior to court.
Okay.
So I am handling a case in Hardin County for him, which I'm hired. In that case, we're just about working that case out. When's your next court date in Hardin County?
Um,
It's coming up.
there's some notes on my phone if I can look.
No, you don't need to look.
Yeah,
The point is, I mean, I have it. We have a court date coming up in Hardin County. That case will be disposed of. And then, you know, he tells me that he wants me to help him on the case in Judge Stevens' court. But quite frankly, I'm looking at it for the first time here.
And the cases in CDC are set for March 10th of 2025,
March 10th,
Your Honor.
okay.
And all I can tell you is that, you know, if he
So-
decides to hire me, I'll file the proper paperwork and get prepared on that as quickly as I possibly can.
I mean,
This
we can
looks like
reset
the
it,
stop
we
fence was
probably could
made
reset it to
last
March
year.
10th to the same date.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
We'll reset it on March 10th, same date, and on that day, well, that's right, this is MTRP docket.
Whatever
And March
pleases the
10th, what
court.
day of the week is that?
Monday, Your Honor.
It's Monday? Well, we'll reset it for that Wednesday. It's fall. And y'all
But
can-
that's perfectly fine with me.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Okay, we'll reset it to March 12th, 2025. You're gonna get your reset from your attorney. And our coordinator, once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
And I assure you I'll be prepared on it next time, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay, Mr. Paget, I think this is your last case. You're free to go as well. You have a
Yes, Your
blessed
Honor.
day.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah. What did Mr. Boudreaux, he left? Okay. So as the client Albert Slaughter, he left. Those cases being dismissed? Yeah, okay, I have the dismissal. here. That's your attorney. Just sign the dismissals. Did you get that other one, Clifford? Okay. Elizabeth Ray Hunter Clifford. Ms. Clifford, your full name is Elizabeth Ray Hunter Clifford.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Your attorney, Attorney Rennick, Scott Rennick was here earlier. And he informed the court that there was an agreement made between you and the state. And that he thought that you was gonna pay partial
Yes, sir.
arrears, but you paid the full amount, and so,
Yes, sir.
this-
I'm sorry. I have to drive all the way from Dallas every time I come to court. so
okay.
Kind of hedge my bets, you
Okay.
know.
Well, you won't have to do that again because this case is being dismissed. Is that correct, Zach?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And her probation
Expiration date is passed.
Okay,
Yes.
so that, okay. Okay, so the expiration date on your probation is passed. That simply means that you are no longer on probation. So you're off of probation. You're gonna get, I just signed the dismissal. You'll be able to get a copy of the dismissal and motion to revoke probation. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Have a safe trip back to Dallas
Yes, sir.
and you have a blessed day. You can get your reset, I mean, you can get your dismissal. Once you get your dismissal, you're free to go. You're welcome.
Excuse, sir.
Yes, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
We can send a copy to you, to her attorney too. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Caleb, Philly, LeBlancis. You need to turn your phone off, ma'am. Okay. Who's the prosecutor?
Mr. Hugh.
Yeah, there's about one.
He was in the back.
No problem. He's coming, John.
Okay. This is cause number 24 CCCR 2326. Case is filed with State of Texas versus Caleb Filial LeBlancis. Mr. Filial LeBlancis, is that your full name? Yes. Mr. Filial LeBlancis, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove, do you waive a record in Mr. Filial LeBlancis' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Filial LeBlancis, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information is filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Caleb Filial LeBlancis, on or about August 21st of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of terroristic threat against a public servant. Mr. Filial LeBlancis, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Filial LeBlancis, I also have a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. This document is on my tablet. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. You place your initials on this document. On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Second box is check states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? Yes. Do we have the discovery certificate? Okay. I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Yes. Mr. Filial LeBlanc says, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? Yes. Did you understand everything that your attorney went over? Yes. Is everything in these documents true and correct? Yes. To the best of your knowledge? Yes. Mr. Filial LeBlanc says, are you a citizen of the United States? Yes.
The offer states one.
Any objections, Mr.
No
Grove?
objection, Your Honor.
No objection, states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Grove, you advised in counsel, Mr. Filial LeBlanc says, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
And Mr. Filial LeBlanc says, your attorney, Mr. Grove, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Filial LeBlanc says, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to 50 months deferred probation with the fine waived, 50 hours of community service, the requirement that the defendant attend and complete an anger management course, and no contact with the complaining witness in this case, Faith Jackson.
Mr. Grove, were you appointed in this case?
Yes, sir.
What is this court cost?
Mr. Grove, once it finishes this plea, there's one more thing I need to talk to you about.
Okay. This case or?
No,
Okay,
different case.
sure, sure.
Okay. Mr. Filio Lawson's estate is offering that you serve 15 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 15-month probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine because the fine is waived in this case. You will be required to pay $277 court costs. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and reimburse Jefferson County Code Enforcement attorney's fees of $350. Your total monthly installments would be $126 a month. Are you able to pay the $126 a month? Okay.
Judge,
Let me
just for a
see his
little bit,
affidavit of indigence. Yeah, let me see his affidavit. Let me just-
Mr. LeBlanc is in school. He is a senior in high school. He's supposed to graduate in May and plans to do so. He doesn't have a job though now, and so he has no income. What he's been relying on, including the GPS monitor that the court required after the hearing, his mother's having to pay for that. So
Okay.
I think that's why he will not be able to pay it now, although he can certainly tell you more about that than I can.
Okay. Okay. Mr. LeBlanc, I'm handing the document to your attorney. This document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
And on page 2 of that same document should be a signature above the line that is titled Defendant.
Yes.
Do you see that? Is that your signature? It should be at the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Is it defendant signature? Now, is everything in that document still true and correct today? Okay, now, Mr. Filio LeBlanc, the court is going to find that you're indigent based on the finding of indigency. Let's see, let me get the. Okay, based on the finding of indigency, the attorney's fees in this case of $350 will be waived pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The reimbursement fee of $15 will be waived pursuant to Article 102.018 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The court cost of $277 will be converted to 22 hours of community service. And so that leaves the probation fee of $60 a month will reduce to the statutory minimum of $25 a month. And you will be required to pay your analysis fee of $15. So your total monthly installments will be $43 a month. You'll be able to pay the $43 a month. Okay. Now, you will also be required to perform 72 hours of community service. No, excuse me. You'll be required to perform 50 hours of community service. That 50 hours of community service will be in addition to the 22 hours of community service that was converted from court calls to community service. So that leaves a total of 72 hours of community service. Do you understand that? You'll also be required to attend and complete an anger management class, have no contact with Faye Jackson. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer and the findings of the court is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll follow the people who are in agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Filio LeBlanc, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record. And you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in that, in those matters. Now, in addition, the GPS, we're gonna I'm gonna sign an order to release that GPS where you would no longer be required to have it. Okay. And she's giving me that order right now. Okay. Yeah, I just signed the motion to remove the GPS monitoring device. You'll be able to get a copy of this motion. And the other thing, Mr. Filio LeBlanc, says I noticed that every time that you come to court, you did not come alone. Is that correct? And I think you have, I think you previously mentioned that you have your mother here and your grandmother. Okay, now, I do know that this incident happened in a school setting, and I'm sure there was other individuals around. Some of them you might call them your friends. Some of them you might say that they may be your BFF. But on days like today, I don't see them in here. And you know why? Because everybody's not your friend, everybody's not your partner. But when those two ladies who's in court with you today and who've been here every time, when they say they got you, they got you. Okay? And so because they are your BFFs, they're the ones that help to put clothes on your back, food on the table, and I'm sure at sometimes they probably put a little spanking on your butt. But that's because they love you. They're here because they love you. I'm sure this is not the proudest day of their life, but guess what? You know, some people might look at it as a stumbling block, but you could look at it as a stepping stone. And the difference between the two is that a stepping stone is something that you can stand on and reach higher heights. Okay? So the point that I'm trying to make is you can put this behind you, and you can make those two young ladies who's in court with you today proud. Okay? Now, you might think this is the worst day of your life, and you're in a storm. But remember this, when you're walking through a storm, hold your head high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and a sweet silver song of the Lord. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. Okay? You got to keep the faith and keep hope. This is not the end of your life. Okay, you can put this all behind you. And one day you could be sitting where I'm sitting, talking to some young people, letting them know that there is still hope. And if you're drowning, remember, hope floats. You can hang on to it. All right. So this is not the end. Okay. So you can put this all behind you. And as I mentioned to you earlier, your lawyer, once you finish this probationary period, case will be dismissed with not resulting in conviction record, and you can get a non-disclosure. That's basically where your record is sealed. Okay. All right. So good luck, and make those two young ladies who's here proud of you. All right, and you have a blessed day. And let me see his parents. And ma'am, thanks for coming down here with him every time. Don't give up on him. Okay, just stay with him. He'll be all right. Just hang in there. Okay, and thanks for coming down here with him and supporting him. And y'all have a blessed day. Did he get his statement? Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Ms. Carter? Albert Slaughter? Is that it?
No, that was the dismissal, Your Honor.
Oh, that's all I saw in here. Okay, it just came up again. Kendall Chopin? Chopin. All right, how you doing? You look like a gentleman I saw when I was getting my license renewed back in November. Were you at the DPS office back there?
I think so.
Oh, you were? Okay, I thought you looked like a gentleman, like they was there with their grandmother and his brother. Okay. Chopin. Okay, court is in session in two cases, cause number 24 CCCR 2608 and cause number 24 CCCR 2620. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Kendall Roy Chopin. Mr. Chopin, is that your full name? Mr. Chopin, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Chopin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Chopin, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Chopin?
Doing good today.
You doing good today?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, you know, in life, we have ups and downs. Sometimes we have good days and sometimes we have bad days. But in the long run, they have a tendency to even out. So glad you're having a good day today. Now, Mr. Chopin, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Christy Carlton. Attorney Carlton, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor.
And Ms. Carlton, did you waive a record in Mr. Chopin cases?
I did, Your Honor.
Mr. Chopin, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, in cause number 24 CCCR 2608, it alleges that you, Kendall Roy Chopin, on or about May 30th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offensive theft. Mr. Chopin, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chopin, I also have before me on my tablet a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? And on page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked Nola contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Or at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box is checked, states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Chopin, before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chopin, are you a citizen of the United States?
State over states one.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Barton, you've advised and counsel Mr. Chopin, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Chopin, your attorney, Ms. Barton, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent
Yes,
legal
sir.
representation? Mr. Chopin, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 180 days probated over 15 months. Fine is to be waived in this cause, $855 in restitution to Dick's Sporting Goods, 40 hours community service plus court costs, and this is to run concurrent with calls ending in 2620.
And this one is the first case is 350. What's the court call? 277. Okay. Mr. Chopin, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you're required to pay the fine in this case is waived, so it's zero on the fine. You'll be required to pay court costs of $277. You're required to pay a probation fee, $60 a month, your master's fee, $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court of Appeals attorney's fees of $350. Your total monthly installments, I forgot to add in the restitution. Let me see, let's see. Okay. You'll also be required to pay restitution in the amount of $855 to Dick's Sporting Goods. Your total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $173 a month. Will you be able to pay the $173 a month?
Yes, sir.
You will? All right. You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. He doesn't have a job?
No, I got an interview today, 12.
What'd he say?
He said he has an interview at 12.
Oh, then, but he don't have a job, so we go with what you have now. A bird in the hand is better than 10 in the bush.
Yeah.
So you don't have a job. Okay, let me see his affidavit of indigence. Okay. Mr. Chopin, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. I'm gonna hand this document to your attorney. She's gonna hand it to you. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on page 2 of that same document, there's a signature at the top left-hand corner above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay. go back to page 1. Is everything in that document still true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go back to page 1. Is everything in that document still true and correct? Yes, sir. Okay. Go back to page 2 of that same document. There's a signature at the top left-hand corner above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, what's different?
The take home pay.
Okay, you can make your corrections on that. Okay. Is everything in this document true and correct?
Yes,
To the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Chopin. Court is on the find that you indigent. Okay. Now, the attorney's fees in this case, $350 will be waived, which means you won't have to pay it pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The reimbursement fee of $50 will be waived pursuant to Article 102.018 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The court cost of $277 will be converted to 22 hours of community service. And the probation fee of $60 a month will be reduced to the statutory minimum of $25 a month. You will be required to pay the $15 urinalysis fee. Let's see. Restitution. So you will also be required to pay the restitution in the amount of $855 to Dick's Sporting Goods. Your total in this case will be $104 a month. Okay, you'll be able to pay the $104 each month.
Yes, sir.
And now you will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service in addition to the 22 hours of community service that was converted from from the court cost, which will give you a total of 62 hours of community service.
Yes, sir.
You also be, you also be required to adhere to the other standard terms, conditions, and probation. This case will run concurrent with the companion case, clause number 24 CCCR 2620. Mr. Chopin, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
and the court's, adjustments?
Yes, sir.
You think it's fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Chopin, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state and with the previous findings of the court. We'll move on to your next case. Your next case is cause number 24 CCCR 2620. And in this case, I have the information on my computer that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And this information, it alleges that you, Kendall Roy Chopin, on or about May 30th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Chopin, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, Mr. Chopin, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charge? Chopin, I also have before me a document on my tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials online next to boxes checking the contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document on paper that's titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Chopin, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
State offer states one.
Any
No
objections?
objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Ms. Carlton, you've advised the counsel, Mr. Chopin, in this case, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Not to my knowledge, no, sir.
And Mr. Chopin, your attorney, Ms. Carlton, has advised and counseled you in this case. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chopin, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 180 days probated over 15 months. Fine is to be waived, 40 hours community service, $390 restitution of Dick's Sporting Goods and court costs. This is running concurrent with the companion case as well.
What's the court cost? Okay, Mr. Chopin, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. That fine will be waived. You'll be required to pay court costs in this case of $277. But that $277 will be converted to 22 hours of community service because the court has previously found that you injured pursuant to Article 42.15 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The attorney's fees in this case will be waived, which means you won't have to pay it. That's $75 because you've been previously found injured, and that's pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The probation fee in this case, you will not have to pay it because you paid the probation fee in the previous case. The urinalysis fee in this case, you will not have to pay it because you paid the urinalysis fee in the previous case. And the restitution in this case will be waived pursuant to Article 102.018 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. You will be required to pay the restitution in the amount of $390 to Dick's Sporting Goods. So your total monthly installments for this case will be $28 a month. Will you be able to pay the $28 each month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And this probation will run concurrent with clause number 24 CCCR 2608.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chopin, do you understand the state's offer and the court's adjustments?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that it's fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Chopin, I'll follow the plea bargain agreements that you have made with the state. Now, Mr. Chopin, our court coordinator has to redo the paperwork. So it's gonna take a little time just to redo the paperwork. And then once you redo the paperwork, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Now you came in here with someone? Your mother? Okay, man, thanks for coming out here with your son. I noticed earlier when y'all was sitting there, I know you was hugging on him. And your presence here speaks volumes because it shows that you love him. I know a lot of times he's a young man. I used to be a young man like him one day. And I used to have hair on my head like you. I have no more hair on my head. But that's because that was many moons ago, long time in the past. Now, you know, young people today, like yourself, you have friends and you call them your BFF. You know, in my day, we used to call them our ace boon coon. But they don't call them that no more. You know, we figure those individuals will be with us through thick and thin. They'll be with us through ups and downs, our trials and tribulations. But on days like today, I don't see those people here. The person that I see here is your mother. Let me tell you this, everybody's not your friend, everybody's not your partner. But when that lady says she got you, she got you. That's because she loves you. She's the one that put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on the table, because she loves you. Now, this is not the proudest day of her life, seeing you here before a judge for these two offenses. You know, some people might look at it as a stumbling block in life, but you can look at it as a stepping stone. And with a stepping stone, you could take that stumbling block and reach higher heights. You can put this all behind you, okay? And be the man that woman raised you to be, okay? I know that sometimes in life, on days like today, you might think this is a storm, this is the worst day of your life, you're in a storm. But let me tell you this, young man, when you're walking through a storm, hold your head high and don't be afraid of the dark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your thorns be tossed, though your dreams be tossed and blown, walk on with hope in your heart. And you'll never walk alone. Okay? So just keep the faith, keep pushing, hang on to hope. If you think you're sinking, hold on to hope because hope floats. All right? And ma'am, thanks for being down here with him, just hanging there, continue to stand there, hanging there with him. Okay? And when you leave here today, before you leave here today, make sure you kiss that lady and hug that lady because that lady loves you. All right?
Yes, sir.
And you have a blessed day.
You too.
All right. And Mr. Chopin and your attorney, y'all come on back up. You know, the way the code is written now, he may qualify for non-disclosure after all this is over. You can talk to your attorney about that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a blessed day. Okay, who do we have? Okay, Bird.
Your Honor.
And who do we?
You're gonna have to give me some brownie points for being here for so long. When I don't, those days I don't show up.
No, don't.
Don't work that way. Johnny Raymond Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor, we,
Johnson. God bless you as well. This is cause number 24 CCCR 2406. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Johnny Raymond Johnson. Mr. Johnson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Johnson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Johnson?
I'm blessed, sir. How are you?
I'm blessed as well. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Johnson, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing?
doing fine.
And state is represented in this case by Attorney Shane Hilton. Attorney Hilton, again, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, I have before me a document on my computer that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Johnson, it alleges that you, Johnny Raymond Johnson, on or about September 12th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of evading arrest detention. Mr. Johnson, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Johnson, how do you plead? Guilty?
No contest.
Not, you plead in no contest?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled States Exhibit 1. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are two sets of initials. One set is your attorney initials, the other set of initials, JR or J. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this, now, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State,
State offers exhibit number 1, Your Honor.
any objections?
Stage one.
No objection, states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Burbank, you revised and counseled Mr. Johnson. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
And Mr. Johnson, your attorney, Mr. Burbank, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reason without state. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
We would ask the court for 4 days, county jail with credit for time served of 4 days, and that, the court costs be taxed and retired, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, the state is offering that you serve 4 days in Jefferson County Jail. You don't have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail. On this case, because you've already served 4 days, therefore you'll be given credit for the time that you've already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail has already paid off the court cost. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Johnson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Johnson, you're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator, follow her directions, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too,
And Mr. Burbank, you're free to go as well.
Thank you.
Tracy Levance Brannon Jr.
He's here. He's ready.
Okay.
He's coming up.
Court is in session in 2 cases, cause number 24 CCCR 2266, cause number 24 CCCR 2269. Both cases are styled as Taylor, Texas versus Tracy Levance Brannon Jr. Mr. Brannon, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brannon, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brannon, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Brannon?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Brannon, you represented in your case, on your cases, your attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Mr. Adams, do you waive a record in Mr. Brannon's cases?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brannon, in cause number 24 CCCR 2266, I have before me an information, and in this information, it alleges that you, Tracy Levance Brannon Jr., on or about August 11th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense, possession of marijuana, less than 2 ounces. Mr. Brandon, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, how did you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Brandon, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to the boxes checked no contingent, which means no contest. Please place your initials on this document.
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that on paper that is titled discovery certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Brandon, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Brandon, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir. So for six one.
Any objections?
No.
No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Adams, you've advised and counseled Mr. Brandon. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Mr. Brandon, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brandon, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to 90 days probate over 1 year with a $300 fine and 4 years community service. In exchange for this plea and for defendants, forfeiture of the weapon, we will be dismissing the companion case.
What is this court cost? 277. Okay, Mr. Brandon.
Yes.
The state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, your announcement fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. And you'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $425. Your total monthly installments is $174 a month, or you're able to pay the the $174 a month. Not, okay. May I see his affidavit of injuries? Okay. Mr. Brown, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. I hand this document to your attorney. He's gonna hand it to you. Do you recognize that document?
Yes.
And on page 2 of that document, the top left-hand corner, there should be a signature above the line that's titled Defender Signature.
Yes.
Top left, is that your signature?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Brandon, is everything in that document still true and correct today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Brandon, I'm going to find that you're indigent. Based on the finding of indigency, let's see, the fine of $300 and court costs of $277 comes to total $577 will be converted to 46 hours of community service. The attorney's fees of $425 will be waived pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11. Reimbursement fee of $15 will be waived pursuant to Article 102.018 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. The probation fee will reduce to the statutory minimum of $25 a month. And you'll be required to pay a urinalysis fee of urinalysis fee of $15 a month. Your total monthly installments is $44 a month. Will you be able to pay the $44 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. This 40 hours of community service will be in addition to the 46 that was converted from finding court costs, which comes to a total of 86 hours of community service. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The state has entered into this agreement to dismiss cause number 24 CCCR 2269 for forfeiture of a weapon in that case. And I have before me a document that's titled Motion to Forfeit in cause number 24 CCCR 2269. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in this document true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Brandon, I'm going to sign an order granting the forfeiture of the weapon, in this case, to the Beaumont Police Department. Now, Mr. Brandon, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that is fair and is just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Brandon, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Brandon, this will conclude your cases. Mr. Brandon, you're going to have a seat. Just have a seat because she has to redo the paperwork, make those adjustments of the findings that I made in this case.
Yes.
And then once she's ready, she's gonna call your name to follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes,
And Mr. Adams, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
all right, thank you.
That's not incorrect.
There you go.
I thought we had his case earlier. Okay, this will conclude the calling of the report, motion to revoke probation docket, and the announcement docket in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding, and everyone please have a blessed day. Prosecutors, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well.